Hello and welcome to Quilt Studio by Subtractive Art and available on the iTunes App Store. In this video, I'll give you a quick tour of the product and show you how to make your first quilt. This is the main studio screen. On the left are the quilts, and on the right are the fabric sets. Quilt Studio comes with these quilts and fabric sets built in to help get you started. I can choose to edit a quilt by tapping on it, or I can preview fabrics in all of my quilts by tapping on the arrow. I can tap the arrow again to cancel the preview, but I like this quilt in this color, so I'm going to tap on it to edit it. Now we're in the quilt editor. I can change various aspects of the quilt using the buttons on the right. I can choose Block A or Block B. Quilt Studio comes with these built-in blocks, again, to help get you started. I think that's an interesting pattern, but I want to create my own block, so I'll tap the plus button. Here in the block editor, I can add a piece, resize it, and choose its fabric. I'll add another piece and choose a different fabric to get a 2-triangle block. Now that we have our blocks chosen, I can choose the settings button to see the various effects I can get by rotating the blocks in various ways. I can also change the sashing. I can choose its size, give it cornerstones, and choose the fabric for those cornerstones. I can do similar things for the border and for the binding. I can also change sizes for the quilts. This button allows me to change sizes for the blocks, as well as the sashing, border, and binding. I can also change the overall sizing of the quilt by adding and removing blocks. Notice up at the top, it shows us the size. I'll add some blocks to make it a square quilt. I can also use the Fabrics button to see what the quilt will look like with other fabrics. But I like this one, so I'll keep it. Now that everything is just the way that I like it, I tap the Info button and Quilt Studio generates a pattern. The first page shows the quilt, and the next pages show the block diagrams for Block A and Block B with the pieces labeled. Next is the list of fabrics. For each fabric, it shows the yardage needed, what pieces to cut, and where they go in the quilt. If there had been any oddly shaped pieces in the quilt, Quilt Studio would have generated a template that can be printed out and used to cut the piece. That's it. I've created my first quilt. I can tap the Share button to share the instructions by email, Facebook, and other options. I can also order the fabrics online by tapping the Shopping button. Now I'm going to go back to the Studio screen and show you how to edit fabric sets. Let's say I like this fabric set, but I want to add a red fabric to it. I tap the fabric set to edit it, and then I can search on various aspects of the fabric, like what color it is, and how bright it is. Now when I click Browse, I'm only shown fabrics that have a dark red in them. Once I find a fabric I like, I can drag it over a fabric to replace it, or add it to the end. Now when I go back to the Studio screen, the new fabric set with the new red fabric is available for my quilts. That's it for the tour. Quilt Studio is available free to try for one quilt on the iTunes App Store. There are 2 upgrade options, $12.99 for 10 quilts and $29.99 for unlimited quilts. You can find it on the App Store by searching for Quilt Studio, and on Facebook by the same name. Thanks for watching.